stand on the observation deck of Unity Station. It is a monument to peace, a city floating in the void. Below you, far below, Earth is a blue marble, a beautiful, distant memory. Here, you are humanity's envoy, the first to hold this title. You represent your entire species to the galaxy, a galaxy that has finally welcomed you. The Galactic Alliance promised a new age, an era of shared knowledge and boundless discovery. For decades, that promise held true. Species from 1,000 worlds met here. They traded goods and ideas under the banner of peace. You look out at the star-strewn blackness. It feels less like a void and more like a neighborhood. Your gaze falls upon the approaching fleet, the ships of the Cathar Imperium. They are sleek vessels of polished chrome and light. The Cathar were your mentors, the first to find humanity. They guided you into the galactic community. Their arrival today is ceremonial, a reaffirmation of the treaty signed 1 generation ago, a promise of 1,000 more years of friendship. You smile. This is the culmination of your life's work. The fear and wonder of humanity's first steps, now a confident stride. Your aide, a young woman named Lena, stands beside you. She holds a data slate. "Envoy," she says, her voice bright. "The Cathar fleet is in position. They are hailing us." You nod, turning from the window. It is time to renew the promise of the stars. The main communication screen flickers to life. The face of the Cathar commander appears. His features are sharp and avian. His eyes hold a strange intensity today. You dismiss it as ceremonial gravity. Behind him, his bridge crew moves with practiced efficiency. You offer the traditional greeting, a gesture of an open hand. "Commander Valerius, welcome back to Unity Station. Your presence honors us." The commander does not return the gesture. His expression remains unchanged, cold, distant. A low hum begins to build in the station's speakers, a sound that is not part of the hail. Your chief technician leans forward at his console. "Envoy, I am picking up something strange. A tight beam signal, not from the Cathar. It is from Deep Space Outpost, Epsilon. The outpost is at the edge of explored space, a tiny listening post in the great dark. It is meant to be silent, a place for star science and quiet observation. "Put it on a private channel," you command. Lena's hand touches your arm. Her earlier brightness is gone, replaced by a flicker of concern. The Cathar commander is still watching you. His silence is becoming a weight. The signal from Epsilon is not a voice. It is a data packet. Corrupted, broken, a loop of meaningless code in a single, repeating image. A star chart. But the constellations are wrong. They are distorted, twisted, as if viewed through a broken lens. Your technician shakes his head. "I cannot make sense of it. It's just noise, a warning of what, I don't know." You feel a chill creep up your spine, a warning you do not yet understand. On the main screen, the Cathar commander finally speaks. His voice is flat, devoid of the warmth you remember. "Envoy of humanity, your time is over." The screen goes dark. Alarms begin to scream across the bridge. Red lights flash, painting the faces of your crew in strokes of terror. "What is happening?" Lena gasps. The technician shouts from his post. Their weapon ports are open. All ships, they are targeting the station. You look out the main viewport again. The beautiful Cathar ships are no longer symbols of peace. They are sharks circling their prey. Beams of pure energy lance out. They strike the station without mercy. The deck shudders beneath your feet. The first impacts are silent in the vacuum, but you feel them in your bones. A deep, grinding protest from the station structure. The attack is sudden. It is absolute. There is no declaration of war, no breakdown of diplomacy. Only the cold silence, then the fire. Your fleet, the small human defense contingent, is caught completely by surprise. Shields flare into existence only to be torn apart. Smaller ships bloom into fireballs. A silent, brutal ballet of destruction. You are thrown from your feet as a secondary explosion rocks the bridge. The lights flicker and die. Only the red emergency strobes remain. Why? You whisper into the chaos. Why are they doing this? Your mind refuses to accept it. These were your friends, your guides. They showed you the wonders of the galaxy. Now they were showing you its pointless cruelties. The great betrayal at Orion had begun. The bridge is a ruin of smoke and sparks. Consoles explode in showers of glass. Lena helps you to your feet. Her face is streaked with grime, her eyes wide with shock. Outside, Unity Station is dying. You see whole sections peel away. Decks vent their atmosphere into the void. A cascade of debris tumbles through space. Humanity's greatest achievement, torn asunder in minutes. The loss feels like a physical blow. You remember walking these halls. You remember the art from 100 worlds. The libraries filled with alien knowledge. The gardens where children of different species played. All of it, gone, turned to dust and scrap by those you called allies. The promise of the stars has become a funeral pyre. Your security chief, a grim-faced man named Yorick, pulls you toward the emergency exit. Envoy, we have to go. The bridge is no longer safe. You resist for a moment. Your eyes are fixed on the horror outside. You watch as a medical bay is hit, a place of healing, vaporized. The sheer senselessness of it all is staggering. The fall of Titan Station, your people called it that with pride. It was a giant of engineering, a testament to human ingenuity. Now it is a tomb. Jorik pushes you harder. There is a shuttle on the lower deck, the diplomatic courier. It is shielded. We might make it. You finally tear your gaze away from the window. Hope is gone. Only survival remains. A bitter, ugly replacement. You race through shattered corridors. Emergency bulkheads have slammed shut. The air is thin, tasting of ozone and fire. The screams of the dying echo through the comms. You shut them out. You have to. To listen is to fall into despair. Lena and Yorick are with you. A handful of bridge survivors follow. A small, terrified remnant of the station's command. The hangar bay is chaos. People are scrambling for any ship that can fly. Most are wreckage. The Cathar are thorough. They are not just destroying the station, they are erasing it. Yorick leads you to the Stardust Drifter. It is a small, unarmed ship. Your personal transport. It was never meant for combat. It was meant for quiet journeys between peaceful worlds. A joke in the face of this new reality. You strap yourself into the pilot's seat. Your hands move over the controls. The muscle memory of your youth in the academy takes over. Lena is in the co-pilot seat. Jorich is securing the hatch. The ship's systems flicker to life. The power core whines in protest. Diagnostics flash across the screen. The port engine is damaged. The navigation system is a mess. It will have to do. You fire the thrusters. The Stardust Drifter lurches away from its docking clamp. You fly it out of the burning hangar, into the void. The space around the station is a graveyard. The wreckage of human ships drifts alongside Cathar fighters. They are hunting for survivors. You push the engines to their limit. The ship groans, a wounded animal fleeing the pack. A Cathar fighter locks onto you. An alarm shrieks. You throw the ship into a wild spin. You dive behind a huge piece of the station's hull, a fragment of the observation deck where you stood just minutes ago. Laser fire sears the space where you were. You need to think. You cannot outrun them. You cannot outfight them. You must be clever. You must be lucky. You remember the corrupted star chart from Epsilon, the distorted constellations. An idea sparks in your mind, a desperate gamble. The Cathar use standard navigation routes, predictable paths through space-time. The distorted chart showed something else, paths that were not supposed to be there, unstable, dangerous, but also unknown to the Cathar. You pull up the data packet from Epsilon. You override the failing navigation system. You tell it to plot a course into that madness. Lena looks at you. What are you doing? That region is uncharted. You look back at her. Your face is a mask of grim determination. Good, you say. Then they will not follow. You engage the jump drive. The ship shudders violently. The stars outside the viewport stretch and distort. The universe seems to fold in on itself. Then, with a final lurch, you are gone. You have escaped into the void. Survival is your only mission now. The blackness here is different, deeper, older. The familiar star patterns are gone. You are adrift in a part of the galaxy that does not appear on any chart. The stardust drifter is barely holding together. The main power core is fluctuating. Life support is stable, for now. You and your small crew are alive. But you are utterly, terrifyingly lost. Days blur into one another. You work to repair the ship. Jorik rations the emergency supplies. Lena tries to make sense of the ship's sensor logs. She is looking for any sign of a habitable world, or a friendly signal. There is nothing, only silence. The silence of the tomb. You feel like a ghost, haunting the empty corridors of your broken ship. One day, an alarm breaks the monotony. It is not a warning of danger. It is the proximity sensor. Something is out there, drifting in the dark. It is small. Too small to be a ship, too regular in shape to be an asteroid. You bring the stardust drifter closer. You use the external cameras to get a look. It is a crystalline object, a perfect geometric shape. It glows with a soft, internal light. It is unlike any technology you have ever seen. It is not Cathar. It is not human. It hums with a quiet energy, a resonance that seems to vibrate in your mind. Bring it aboard, you order. Jorik looks hesitant. Envoy, we do not know what that is. You shake your head. We have nothing left to lose. Bring it aboard. The ship's tractor beam, surprisingly still functional, locks onto the object. It brings the artifact into the cargo bay. The artifact is cool to the touch. Its surface is impossibly smooth. As you get closer, the humming intensifies. It is not just a sound. It is a feeling, a presence. Whispers seem to echo at the edge of your hearing. Faint, ancient. Lena approaches it with a scanner. The device whines and powers down. The energy field is too strong, she says. It is overwhelming my equipment. You reach out. You place your hand on its surface. The moment your skin makes contact, light erupts. Your mind is flooded with images, not memories, not your own. You see galaxies being born. You see civilizations rise and fall like the tide. You see beings of immense power striding between stars. You hear a voice, not in your ears, but in your soul. It speaks of the Elder Ones, the first to walk the cosmic stage. The artifact is their legacy, a library of a forgotten age. The vision recedes, leaving you breathless. You stumble back, your heart pounding. What did you see? Lena asks, her voice filled with awe. You try to explain, but the words are inadequate. It was the history of the universe in a single touch. The artifact is more than a relic. It is a key. It holds answers. And it has chosen you. It whispers of a truth hidden in the heart of a nearby nebula. News of the betrayal at Orion spreads. The few human ships that escaped carry the tale. It is a story of shock and horror. The Galactic Alliance is thrown into chaos. The Cathar, once respected leaders, are now feared aggressors. The council chambers on the capital world erupt in accusation and debate. Old wounds between species are torn open. Some refuse to believe it. They call it human propaganda, an attempt to destabilize the alliance for your own gain. Others are terrified. If the Cathar could turn on their closest allies, who was safe? The fragile trust that held the galaxy together for centuries shatters. Old rivalries flare into open conflict. Small border skirmishes erupt along contested territories. The peace you worked so hard to build is unraveling. On your small ship, you are an island in this growing storm. The artifact guides you. The whispers in your mind have become clearer. They direct you toward the Calypsan Nebula, a swirling cloud of iridescent gas and newborn stars. It was once a popular tourist destination. Now, it is a place to hide and a place to find answers. You navigate the Stardust Drifter into the nebula's dense clouds. The ship's sensors are useless here. You are flying blind, relying only on the artifact's guidance. It hums with a steady rhythm, a beacon in the glowing fog. The whispers lead you to a specific point in space, a place that seems no different from any other. But the artifact insists. Here. The truth is here. You open a channel. You broadcast a simple query into the nebula, a code sequence taken from the artifact's visions. For a long time, there is only silence. Then, a response. An ancient signal. Not from a ship, from the nebula itself. A vast, hidden network comes to life. The gas clouds around you shimmer. They resolve into a colossal structure, a data repository built by the Elder Ones. The artifact interfaces with the repository. It downloads a torrent of information directly into the ship's computer and into your mind. You see the truth. It is more terrifying than you could have imagined. The Cathar did not betray you out of malice. They betrayed you out of fear. They were following a directive left by the Elder Ones, a terrible secret they were forced to keep. The galaxy has a predator, a force of pure consumption that awakens every 50,000 years. It is a form of life, or something like it, that sweeps through the star lanes. It erases any civilization that has reached a certain level of technological advancement. A great filter. The Elder Ones faced it. They were nearly destroyed. They built this network to warn future generations. The Cathar believe humanity was approaching that threshold. Your rapid growth, your boundless curiosity, it marked you for destruction. The attack on Unity Station was not an act of war. It was a mercy killing, a desperate attempt to cripple your civilization, to force you back into a pre-industrial age, to save you from the great filter by breaking you. They chose to be monsters, to save you from a greater monster. The truth in the nebula is a cold comfort. You sit in the pilot's chair. The knowledge weighs on you like a mountain. Your people were not hated. They were judged, weighed on a cosmic scale and found wanting. The Cathar's choice was horrific, unforgivable. But you understand the terror that drove them to it. The fear of a silent, galaxy-ending threat. Lena looks at you. Her face is pale. So what now? Do we tell them? Do we tell everyone the truth? You shake your head. No one would believe us. They would call it a desperate lie. And even if they did, it would cause a panic that would tear the alliance apart faster than any war. You look at the star chart, the path back to your home system. We are on our own now. You must forge a new path. Humanity can no longer rely on allies. It cannot hide from this cosmic threat. You must face it. And you must face the Cathar. They were wrong. Their solution was cowardly. It was born of despair. You choose a different path, a path of defiance. You must unite the scattered remnants of your people. You must tell them not the whole truth, but a truth they can fight for. The truth of the betrayal. The journey back to the Sol system is long and tense. You avoid the main travel lanes. You move through the shadows of the galaxy, a ghost ship carrying a terrible secret. You send out a coded message, a call to every human vessel that survived the initial attacks. You tell them to rendezvous at the last place anyone would expect you to go. Home. You arrive in the orbit of Mars, the forge of Sol. The red planet is humanity's industrial heart, a world of shipyards and factories. It is a symbol of your species' will to build. Now, it must become a symbol of your will to fight. Ships begin to arrive. Battered cruisers, mining haulers retrofitted with weapons, civilian transports carrying refugees, a fleet of ghosts. You stand before the leaders of the Martian colonies. You tell them of the Cathar's betrayal. You show them the recordings of Unity Station's fall. You do not speak of the Great Filter. You do not speak of the Elder Ones. Not yet. That truth would break them. They need anger. They need a target for their grief. You give them one. The Cathar. Earth must prepare for a war it never wanted. The response is immediate. A cold fury settles over the Sol system. The factories of Mars, once building cities, now churn out warships. The miners of the asteroid belt, once digging for ore, now dig for strategic metals. Humanity, the newcomer to the galaxy, is preparing to bare its teeth. You are no longer just an envoy. You are a leader. The reluctant commander of a people pushed to the brink. In the archives of Earth, deep beneath the rebuilt cities, your science teams search. They look for an edge. The Cathar are powerful. Their technology is generations ahead of yours. A conventional war would be suicide. But the artifact you carry holds more than just warnings. It holds knowledge. The science of the Elder Ones. Dangerous knowledge. Your teams find it. A theoretical weapons platform. A concept so dangerous that your own ancestors classified it. They vowed never to build it. They called it the Resonance Cascade. It does not just destroy ships. It targets the very fabric of advanced technology. It creates a chain reaction, a wave of energy that overloads power cores and unravels starship hulls. It is a weapon from the past, a power humanity vowed never to use again. To build it is to cross a moral line, to become the kind of force you are fighting against. You debate with your advisors. Jorik argues for it. We have no choice. It is survival. General Thorne, the head of your new military, agrees. He is a man of cold logic and hard choices. But Lena speaks against it. If we use this, what is the difference between us and them? We cannot sacrifice our soul to save our skin. You are torn. The weapon could save your people. It could also damn them. As you weigh this terrible choice, another crisis emerges. A leak. Information about your fleet's position, its strength, its destination. The leak is precise. It can only be coming from someone in your inner circle. The enemy is not just outside your gates. A traitor walks among your closest advisors. The paranoia is a poison. You look at the faces of those you trust. Yorick, the loyal security chief who saved your life. Thorn, the brilliant general planning your defense. Lena, your aide, who has been with you since the beginning. One of them has betrayed you. One of them is feeding information to the enemy. But who? And why? You use the artifact. You ask it not for ancient secrets, but for a simple truth. You cross-reference communication logs, personal histories, psychological profiles provided by the ship's computer. The artifact sifts through the data. It finds a hidden pattern, a secret communication channel. It leads you to General Thorn. He has not been talking to the Cathar. He has been talking to a third party, a species you have never met. You confront Thorn in private. You show him the evidence. He does not deny it. His face is a mask of grim resolve. You do not understand, Envoy, he says. The Cathar are just a symptom. The real disease is the Alliance itself, its complacency, its refusal to see the real dangers. He believes the Great Filter is coming. He believes the only way to survive is to become stronger, to forge a new empire from the ashes of the old. He saw the betrayal as an opportunity, a chance to accelerate his plans. He is not a traitor to humanity. He is a traitor to your ideals. You have Thorn arrested. The betrayal stings more than the Cathar attack. It was not for money or power in the traditional sense. It was a betrayal of philosophy, a dark path you could have easily taken yourself. With the traitor exposed, you can finally plan your next move. You need allies, not the powerful members of the broken alliance. You need the outcasts. The artifact gives you their locations, species exiled by the alliance long ago. The Grendel, silicon-based life forms considered too aggressive. The Lumina, energy beings deemed too unpredictable. The silent weavers who communicate only through intricate sculpture. They were all pushed to the fringes of the galaxy, left to fend for themselves. They have no love for the Alliance or the Cathar. You take the Stardust Drifter into their territories. You approach them not as an envoy of a fallen power, but as a fellow outcast. You offer them a deal? Join you, fight with you. Not for humanity, but for the right to exist, for the right to choose their own destiny. You show them the designs for the resonance cascade. You offer to share the technology, a weapon that can humble the great powers. It is a long and difficult process. They do not trust you. Humanity was part of the alliance that cast them out. But your honesty and your desperation wins them over. The Grendel offer their hardened ships. The Lumina offer their ability to phase through shields. The Weavers offer their mastery of gravity and space-time. A new fleet is born, a fleet of exiles and survivors. These outcasts become your new allies. The time has come. You have a fleet. You have a weapon. You have a target. The Cathar have a major staging ground in a system known as Cerberus. It is a shipyard, a forward base for their campaign against the remnants of humanity. If you can destroy it, you will deal them a crippling blow. You will show them and the galaxy that you are not broken. You stand on the bridge of your new flagship, a Grendel dreadnought. It is a brutal, functional piece of engineering. Nothing like the elegant human ships of the past. Your new allies are at their stations. Grendel, Lumina, and human crew members work side by side. An impossible alliance united by a common enemy. You give the order. The fleet jumps. You emerge into the Cerberus system. The Cathar are caught by surprise. Their sensors did not detect you. Their patrols are out of position. Your fleet of outcasts descends upon them. The battle is fierce. The Cathar are skilled warriors. Their ships are powerful. But your fleet is unpredictable. Your tactics are unorthodox. The Lumina phase through their formations, sowing chaos. The Grendel ships absorb damage that would cripple Alliance vessels. You hold the key. The Resonance Cascade. It is mounted on your flagship. It takes time to charge. Your fleet must hold the line. They must buy you that time. You watch as ships on both sides are torn apart. The void is filled with fire and light. This is the cost of defiance, a price paid in steel and lives. Finally, the weapon is ready. You choose your moment. The Cathar fleet is clustered around the main shipyard. Trying to protect it, you give the order. Fire. A wave of shimmering energy expands from your ship. It is silent, eerie. It washes over the Cathar fleet. For a moment, nothing happens. Then, their ships begin to die. Power cores overload in spectacular blue flashes. Hulls unravel like threadbare cloth. The shipyard itself groans and collapses into a ruin of twisted metal. It is a victory. A terrible, devastating victory. You have won the battle. The first counterstrike is a success. The surviving Cathar ships flee into the dark. Your fleet, battered but triumphant, holds the field. A message is sent, a broadcast on all channels. It is the footage of the battle, the fall of the Cerberus shipyard. There is no commentary, no demands. Just the images of their defeat. The broadcast ripples across the galaxy. It is seen in the halls of the crumbling Alliance. It is seen on the worlds of the fearful. It is seen by the Cathar Imperium. They see that humanity is not dead. They see that humanity is not hiding. They see that humanity has found new, dangerous friends, and that humanity is willing to use terrible weapons to survive. You stand on the bridge of your ship. You look at the field of wreckage. This victory is not an end. It is a beginning. The war is far from over. The great filter still waits in the darkness. But you have lit a fire, a beacon of defiance in the vast, uncaring night. You have sent a message to the galaxy. Humanity will not be extinguished. Humanity will fight, and humanity will endure.